Now, Danske Bank has confirmed that it will close its branch in Guildhall Square in Derry City Centre this year. It says it's had to make difficult decisions to shut branches that are used less than others. Other branches due to close include Carrickfergus, Knock in East Belfast and Saintfield in County Down. The Danske has advised customers that external cash machines attached to the branches will also be removed on the 7th of June. We've got John O Connell on the line. He's General Secretary of the Financial Services Union. John, this fits into a wider pattern, doesn't it, of branches being closed, and it's not going to be good news for your union members.
Good morning, Mark. It is part of a wider pattern in terms of some banks, but there is a trend occurring now. Nationwide Bank in the UK have declared that they are keeping their branches open and have given a guarantee over a number of years for that. And equally, Commonwealth Bank in Australia is another bank that has taken the same step. So it's not universal. In the Republic of Ireland, Permanent TSP acquired 25 branches, so increased their footprint in terms of it. So the point I'm making, I suppose, is that this isn't inevitable in terms of branch closures, that not every bank thinks the same. And I suppose from our point of view, we regret this. We oppose it in terms of the closures because we understand change in the sector and we understand what digitisation and further down the road AI will do to the sector. But we must agree change in a way that communities and staff are respected. And in this instance, just making an announcement, putting a timeline on it, and particularly cynically taking out the ATMs of the branches is something that we think the Financial Conduct Authority should review. And equally, from our point of view, we call on the bank to pause these closures and allow dialogue with community groups, NGOs, in relation to the future of banking in Northern Ireland.
Why do you think they're actually taking out the ATMs? Do you think, this is a sort of deliberate policy to push people into the online world? But, people will still need some kind of cash, won't they?
Yeah, and there is legislation and more on the way in terms of access to cash, because people recognise that as societies, we require cash to function and to function well. Indeed, the previous finance minister convened a banking forum which identified things like branch closures, identified how change comes about as being areas where we could improve and we could do better. So hence why we're calling for a pause. We now have a new Minister for Finance, and we're asking her to urgently convene the banking forum that her predecessor had in place and allow us to have dialogue with other interested bodies. At the previous event held in Northern Ireland, a wide spectrum of society was represented there and was able to be heard, political views, credit unions, post offices, banks themselves, ourselves as representatives, but other NGO groups that have an interest in continuing to receive a decent banking service.
Could the future be not branches for each individual bank, but banking hubs that bring together different banks under the one roof, maybe also together with services like the post office?
That will be part of the future, but it's not the future. So for us and many others, a blended banking model where for those of us who choose to do our business online, that's available to us. To those of us who wish to go in and crucially receive advice on products and payment methods and so forth, that's available to us as well. In terms of the banking hubs, they're like the post office, they complement the services that are available. It would be a retrograde step that they replaced the branch network, and hence why we should have a further debate in relation to this.
OK, thanks very much for giving us your views. That's John O Connell from the Financial Services Union.